Hey guys, this week I wanted to talk to you about having a game plan when you are going out in public with your kids. With having so many little ones, it can be kind of exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time to go out in public. And the reason why I say it's exciting because it's kind of fun to get out there and get so many looks because you have so many kids, and it's also exciting to just see how successful your kids can be when you give them a chance. A few weeks back I posted a picture on Instagram of me shopping at Target with my youngest 4 kids who are ages, they were 9-month-old twins at the time, a 2-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. So it was kind of funny because Target doesn't have the 2-seater in the front. They've got the big bus thing where you can put 1 kid in the cart and then you have 2 kids back behind, and then I had to wear a kid. So our train was even longer because I had to have the extra space with carrying, and it was just fun and funny, and it just, yeah. Before going to the store though, I had to make a plan. I looked up online because it had been a while since I've gone to Target, and honestly, most of the time when I go out with no kids. I try to wait until there's a time where I can at least have like maybe 1 or 2, but preferably go out by myself. So I had to look online, see what kind of carts there were, so I knew if I needed to bring a baby carrier or not. And then as I was driving to Target, I was just thinking, I was just praying, God, please let there be one of those big bus carts like already out in one of the corrals so I can just park next to it, get everybody into a cart, and then we're set to go. But there wasn't one. So I had to figure out, I went ahead and strapped the baby in, that was gonna be riding on me, and then I had to leave the other one in the car seat while I made sure I could get my 2 and my 3-year-old out of the car, and then I could put my other twin on my hip to carry while I hoped my 2-year-old would hold my hand and my 3-year-old's hand and walk willingly into the store. It didn't go that way. Thankfully though, before I left, I also grabbed a baggie of Cheerios and 2 fruit snacks. The fruit snacks were for my older ones. The Cheerios were to make the twin happy that was gonna be riding in the cart, so she would have something to eat while the older ones ate something as well. And so in order to even get into the store, I had to already give up one of my treats. So I looked at Toby and I said, if you walk into the store and get in the cart, I'll give you a fruit snack. And he heard the word fruit snack and was like, okay, I can do this for a fruit snack. So got in the store good, got in the cart good, gave him the fruit snacks. We were good to go. I looked at my list that I had on my phone, and my first thought was, all right, what do we need the most? So I went through and looked at it, and then I thought, you know, most of the stuff is in the same area. We're just gonna try to see if we can go in order and not jump around as most necessary. So we went in order, and we actually got everything on our list. As we were walking to the store, then the fruit snacks ended, I got out the Cheerios, and that, thankfully, I told my 3-year-old, put her in charge. I said, okay, here's the bag of Cheerios. You can hand them out one at a time to each person. And they lasted through this shopping spree. We only had, I think we were out within an hour, which is pretty impressive. And the funnest part was just everybody's looks, because it's not every day that you see a mom with a baby strapped on, another baby in the cart, and 2 more essentially babies in the cart as well. So it was quite the sight to see, and it went really good. It honestly did. And at the end, a couple moms were like, wow, you're brave. And I was like, it's the first time I've ever done this. And they asked, is it your last? And I said, surprisingly, probably not, because they're doing really good. But by the end of the trip, when we were back in the car, people started getting fussy and cranky. And on the way home, the twins were definitely done and crying. And so, but guys, we went through the whole entire store without a meltdown. Like, how amazing is that? A big, big thing to do it though was when I go to any trip with any number of kids, before I start, I have to tell myself, this is not about getting the items on my list. This is not about accomplishing what I would accomplish if I was by myself. This is a training ground. When I have a kid with me, it is always a training ground, and it is a time to teach them how you act when you're in public, how to hold hands when you're walking in the parking lot, crossing a street, how to not take things off of the shelves. Like, you can't keep your kids cooped in all the time. Like, you've got to take them out in public. They've got to learn eventually. And honestly, I'd rather teach a 2-year-old how to walk across the street than having to teach like a 10-year-old how to walk across the street. I usually try not to take so many kids out all at once while to do some trainings. I usually try to take them out 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 and train them in that, because they need it, and you have to take them out and you have to teach them, and it's not always easy. But another funny thing that I do when I'm out, if I hear another kid in the store that is throwing a tantrum, don't take it personally if this is you that I come across. I let my kids watch, because my kids throw tantrums and I want them to see what they look like. So if you have a kid throwing a tantrum in the store and there's somebody else that's allowing their kid to see it, don't take it personally. I don't take it personally if other people are staring at my kids whenever they're acting crazy, because honestly, I'd rather people notice them acting crazy so they notice that people are noticing they're acting crazy. Because that way, like, their attitudes change. Because nobody wants to have somebody else know that you're acting crazy and losing your cool. Like, it's embarrassing. So I want my kids to know, like, you look like a fool right now, so you might want to shape up. And the fallback that I always try to remember is, if we have to leave early, we leave early. If things just aren't going well, I don't get the things on my list and we need to go, we go. Nothing is more important than training your kids and working with them. And if things are just falling apart and it's not going, try again some other time. Comment below and let me know what your strategy is when you go out in public with your kids. I would love to hear what ideas you have come up with. And thanks so much for hanging out with us this week. I'll see you next week. Bye.